Hello, everybody. Welcome to your chair yoga class. Again, my name is Ashley, and I'm just going to get our camera situated a little bit here before we begin. So, for today's class, you will obviously want a chair. Other things that are good to have in handy are a bottle of water, a towel, maybe to dry off or to use to augment some of our stretches. So today we'll go ahead and get started in a seat in our chair. Try to let yourself be comfortable here. You can place the palms down on the tops of the thighs. And just do a quick check-in with your body. Noticing if you've got any areas of tension or tightness. And then notice if you could be any more comfortable, even just 5 or 10% more comfortable. If the answer is yes, go ahead and shift or adjust so that you can be more comfortable. And if you feel safe to do so, please know that you can close our eyes as we slowly integrate into our class. If that's not comfortable for you, you can keep a soft gaze, maybe off the tip of your nose at the floor. And with all of my yoga classes, we start by first checking in with our breath. We try to change and control the way that we're breathing in yoga, but first we have to notice where we're starting from. So I like to notice how the air feels moving in and out of my body. I like to notice if there's a sound associated with my breath. I also like to take note of if I pause at the top or the bottom of my breath. Together, let's take 3 deep cleansing breaths. So breathe in through the nose, filling up your lungs and your belly, then finding a slight pause at the top of your breath before breathing out through an open mouth. Let's do that twice more. In through the nose, pause, and exhale right out of the mouth. One more time, in through the nose, and out through the mouth. With your next breath in, press your lips together and start to breathe in and out through your nose. There's a slight constriction at the back of our throat. So for me, it almost feels like I'm trying to fog up a mirror, but with my lips pressed together. That constriction in the back of our throat gives our breath sort of a bit of texture or noise, especially when we breathe out. So if you'd like to keep this nose-to-nose breath with you during our practice, know that it's got many great benefits. It helps to warm our bodies from the inside out, and it helps to keep our minds nice and focused, because when we're hearing ourselves breathe, it's a lot harder to have a lot of other distracting thoughts. And then know that if you get too warm, you can go ahead and open your mouth and breathe out, releasing some of that. If you'd like to set an intention for today's class, you may. An intention is something for us to focus on during class, just another layer that we can add into our practice. Today, my intention will be on my breath. Understanding that there is great power in our breath if we only learn to use it. So you hear me cue our breath quite often in class. Know that it's okay You forget all about your breath and then come back to it. That's the whole point. So to start our class off, let's just slowly start to wiggle the feet, wiggle the fingertips, bring some life back into our body, some movements. You readjust, sitting up nice and tall through the spine. From here, I'd like to start by pointing and flexing our feet. So you can keep your feet on the ground or you can reach the legs out in front of you. Start to wake up the lower half of our body. You might even do some circles with the ankles. And then stop and go the other way. And place those feet back down on the ground. Let's move some awareness back into our hands. So wiggling those fingers and then maybe making some circles with the wrists as well. And we'll stop and go the other way. We might even take our hands and kind of guide those fingertips backwards, just giving us a nice stretch in the wrist and in the palm. And switch to the other side if you haven't already. From here, I'd like you to interlace your fingers together. And then we'll reach our fingertips up towards the ceiling. Our palms will reach up for the ceiling. We get a nice stretch in the shoulders, maybe in the back. And try your best to sit up nice and tall. And just find this overhead stretch here while we breathe in and out. In again. And out. Get nice and tall on our last breath in, and then exhale, guide yourself over towards the right. So lean just slightly, trying to stay active through those fingertips. And try to guide the right shoulder back in space. So we're not leaning over, our chest is dumping forward, we're up nice and tall. Stay here for one more breath in and out. Inhale, come back up through center. Let's take it to the other side. Again, trying to find that back bend side stretch combination, pulling the shoulder back. You might even gaze underneath of your armpit. Trying to stay active through the arms. We'll be here for one more breath in and out. Inhale, come back up through center. And then exhale, bring those hands back down to the thighs. From here, we'll sit up nice and tall and take a twist. So I'll twist over to the right side, bringing the left hand to the right thigh and the right hand to the back of the chair. Now, we don't want to use the chair to wrench and really give us a bigger stretch than our body needs. That chair is just there for a little bit of support. So try to use your core and let the twist really come from the belly button up, not from the belly button down. We don't want to hurt our low back. Moving our breath in and out. Twice more right here. And slowly start to come back to face the front. We'll take that to the other side. This time, right hand will come to the left kneecap. And then the left hand will find the back, maybe even the side of the chair as you sit up nice and tall. Relax the shoulders and maybe gaze behind us over our left shoulder. We'll stay here for one more breath in and out. Go ahead and start to face forward again. For our next pose or asana, we'll come into a forward bend. So I'd like your seat all the way in the back of your chair. So a lot of our weight is in the seat. From here, we'll go ahead and lean forward. If it feels best for you to stay propped on your elbows, know that you may stay. If you'd like to take it a step further, we'll go ahead and release ourselves down to the ground. And I'd just like you to hang here for a minute, releasing the back of the neck. You might shake your head yes and no to release some tension in the neck. And from here, I'd like you to take your peace fingers, so your pointer finger and your middle finger, and wrap them around your big toe if you're able. So what that does is we create a hook. Then we're able to put just a little bit of positive pressure to splay the elbows out from side to side and bring our chest a little bit more close to our thighs. If you'd like, you can widen those feet up just a little bit to give your tummy a little bit more room. I'll show you from that angle. Slowly start to release that bind. Place your fingertips on the floor. Then walk your hands up to your knees and sit up nice and tall. It's not uncommon to get a little bit of head rush, so I just like us to come back to sitting for a moment. You can place your hands on the tops of your thighs. And then if you feel a little lightheaded, shift your head back so that your ears are in line with your shoulders. And take a couple breaths there. And once you're ready to move forward, we'll take a modified sun salutation pose. So inhale, reach the arms up overhead, palms face one another at the top. Then exhale, bring your hands to heart center, Samasthiti. Inhale, reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling. This time, goalpost the arms, take a back bend by puffing the chest forward. Slight engagement stays in the core. You might even gaze up towards the ceiling. Inhale, reach the fingertips back up through center. And then exhale, come to a forward fold, placing the hands down on the ground, rounding through the spine. Inhale to a halfway lift, straight in the back. You might even come up here to your forearms to get that nice straight back. And then inhale, reach the arms all the way up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Inhale, reach the fingertips up. Exhale to goalpost the arms, opening up the shoulders, maybe even gazing up towards the ceiling. Inhale, reach the fingers back up towards the ceiling. Exhale to our forward fold. Inhale to our halfway lift, nice and long, flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up towards the ceiling, nice and tall through the spine. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Breath in, sweeps our fingertips up towards the ceiling. Breath out, lets us goalpost our arms, open up through the shoulders, maybe gaze up towards the ceiling. Inhale, breath, reaches our fingertips up towards the ceiling. And then exhale to our forward fold. Inhale to our halfway lift, nice and long, flat back. Exhale to our fold. Inhale, rise, reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach our fingertips up for our upward salute. Exhale, goalpost the arms, find your back bend. Breath in, reaches our fingertips up toward the ceiling. And our breath out lets us come to a forward fold, our Uttanasana. Inhale to our halfway lift, our Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale to our forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up towards the ceiling, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Exhale, goalpost the arms, puff the chest forward for our back bend. Inhale, fingertips reach up. And exhale, come to a forward fold. Inhale to our last halfway lift. And exhale to our fold. Inhale, rise, sweep the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Finding a moment here to breathe in and breathe out. If you're feeling a little bit warmer, that's a great sign. Those sun salutations really help us to warm up our body. From here, I'd like you to place your hands down on your thighs, and we'll take a seated cow and cat. I'm actually going to turn to the side so that you can see a little bit better the movement I'd like in your spine. Feet are flat on the earth. Sit up nice and tall to start. Breathe in, puff the chest forward, roll the shoulders back, belly juts forward just a little bit. And I'm ready to gaze up to the ceiling. This is our modified cow pose. With my exhale, I'm going to bring the chin down to the chest and almost imagine that I'm going to pull my belly button backwards into my spine, rolling my shoulders forward just a touch. Inhale, puff the chest, gaze forward for our modified cow. And exhale to our modified cat, hugging the spine, the belly button rather, back into the spine. Inhale, puff the chest, gaze up. And exhale to round through the spine. Inhale, come back up to a seat. From here, I'd like you to find eagle arms. So there's a couple different variations in our eagle arms. So I'll show you the first variation. I'm going to straighten my hands out right in front of me and cross my right arm under my left. I'll put a bend into my elbows and then maybe my hands interlace. I'm going to get a little bit closer just so you can see me here. So this is option one. Now, that bind is really hard for a lot of us. It might even hurt our shoulders. So another great option is to reach your hands right out in front of you. Again, cross the right elbow under and then grab for the shoulders. That's a great option. Another option is you can maybe find that bend at the elbows and don't interlace the hands. Just press the forearms into one another. So you get to decide what works best in your body. Right arm is under the left. And then we'll take that cat and cow again with these arms. So inhale, puff the chest forward, gaze up. Exhale, round through the spine, hug the elbows into the belly button. Inhale, puff the chest, gaze forward. Exhale to round through the spine, hugging the elbows in nice and close. Inhale, lengthen the spine, find your back bend. Exhale, round through the spine, hugging the elbows. Inhale again, puff the chest. Exhale to hug the elbows. Then our next inhale will bring us back up to our nice tall spine. Place the hands down on the ground. This time we'll take those eagle arms in our cat and cow, but the left arm will be underneath of the right. The left arm underneath of the right. Again, you can find any of those options we just discussed. I'll show it like this time. Inhale, puff the chest forward, fingertips reach up and back. Maybe you gaze up. Exhale to round through the spine, hugging the elbows in nice and close, chin to the chest. Breath in, reach the fingertips up, puffing the chest. Exhale, hug the belly button towards the back of the spine. Another breath in, puff the chest. And exhale to round one more time through the spine. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Unwind those arms. And stay for a breath in and out. Let's take one more in and out. From here, we'll move into a warrior two pose in our chair. If you'd like to take your warrior two standing, know that you may, but I do really want to stay in this shape for a while. So on our chair, if your chair has arms that might be a little bit harder, that's okay. You can find a stool, or maybe even do it standing up using the chair for balance. If you've got a chair without sides on it, we're looking for our left leg to come out to the side, and we want our toes rather to point directly in front of us. Then we take this back leg here, and we place it so that our toes are facing this way. So our toes are kind of at a 90-degree angle. These front toes are facing forward or to the side, depending on which way you look at it, and then our right toes are facing in front of us. You can stay here and then reach those arms up and gaze over your front left finger, trying to sit up nice and tall through the spine. If you'd like to take that standing with a chair, you absolutely may. Left toes face forward and right toes face at a 90-degree angle. You can lift one arm or both arms knowing that the chair is there. And we want a nice bend in the front knee. Steady in the breath, breathing in and out. In again. And out. Inhale, let's reverse our warrior. So place the right hand down along the side. Flip the left palm up and reach back, getting nice and long through the left side. We're not putting a lot of weight in this right hand. Then exhale, let's come into a side angle pose. I'm going to set my left elbow right on the left thigh and reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. We're looking for a nice stretch along the right side of the body in this pose. So try not to dump a bunch of weight forward. Stay really active through the core. And if you'd like a little bit more stretch, maybe you see how it feels to reach the arm up over your head so that the bicep comes close to your feet. Again, putting some thought into our shoulders. We want them nice and open. As we breathe in and out. In again. Out again. One last time right here, in through the nose, out through the nose. From here, come back up to sitting. What I'd like you to do is sit so that your heels are in and your toes are out. So our legs are nice and wide here. And then we'll place our hands right on the tops of our thighs or our kneecaps. Sit up nice and tall. And from here, go ahead and dip the right shoulder down, gaze towards the left. So we're getting a little bit of love to our shoulders here in our deltoid dip. An arm can be straight or bent, whatever feels most comfortable in your body. Inhale, bring yourself back up through center. And exhale, dip the left shoulder. This time we look over the right shoulder. Come back up through center. Let's take one more on each side. So right shoulder dips. Inhale, back up through center. And exhale, dip the left shoulder. Inhale, come back up through center. Nice work. From here, let's find the warrior two on the other side. So this time our right toes will face away from us. And our left toes will be at that nice 90-degree angle. Hands can come to a T. This time our gaze will go over our right middle finger. Trying not to pull those shoulders up, yet relax them down your body. Strong through the breath, breathing in and out. In again and out again. Let's inhale to reverse our warrior. So first, left hand comes along the left leg, right palm reaches up and back. Feeling that nice stretch through the right side of our body. You can gaze up or down. We'll sit back up nice and tall and then find our side angle pose. This time our right elbow comes to the right thigh. Left arm can reach up for the ceiling or over our head, palm faces the ground. Digging into our breath right away, in and out. In again. Out again. One last breath in and out. Start to come back up to our warrior two. Let's find that goddess again. So heels in, toes are out. Sitting up nice and tall in our seat. Hands again comes to the top of the kneecaps or the thighs. We'll take those deltoid dips again. So right shoulder will dip down, we'll gaze over our left or maybe even towards the back. Inhale up through center and exhale, dip the left shoulder this time, gazing over the right shoulder. Inhale up through center. We'll dip the right shoulder once more. Inhale nice and tall through the spine. Before exhale, we dip that left shoulder. And inhale, come back up through center. Nice work. From here, I've got a couple standing poses using the chair for just a little bit of support. So I'll have the chair on my left side, standing beside it. First, I'd like to start us in a mountain pose. So bring your hands down, palms face forward. Feet are about hips width distance apart. We're standing up nice and tall through the spine. Trying to let our shoulders relax down the back. Take 2 breaths in and out. In again. And exhale. Nice work. You can bring your left hand down to the chair for support. If you don't need it, that's a-okay too. From here, I'd like to shift our weight into our left foot and leg and find a one-legged Tadasana. So that can look different for all of us. Your one-legged Tadasana might be, I'm going to stand so you can see my feet, just shifting the weight into your left foot and bringing the toes down to the ground. It also might be a little bit higher, flexing the right toes. And if you're really looking for some adventure, you can try to get the knee in line with the hip. Again, using the chair if you need, and not using it if you don't want to. Try to activate the lowest part of our core here to really lift that thigh up. We'll stay for 2 more breaths. In and out. In again. And out. Slowly step the right foot down to the ground. And I'm just going to move to the other side of my chair here. First, starting in our mountain pose. So palms face forward, nice and tall through the spine. Almost imagining that someone's got a string attached to the top of your head and they're just making you stand up a little bit taller. This time we'll shift our weight into our right leg and then lift, finding our one-legged Tadasana. Our left leg is lifted. Know that you can always plant those toes right on the ground. Or you can see how it feels to lift that left knee up. And then try to find that nice tall feeling through the spine for 2 more breaths. In and out. One last breath in. Exhale, set the left foot down on the ground. Nice job. I'm going to wiggle out my legs. And then get set up for a balanced pose on the other side. So we'll be taking a tree pose. There's a couple different options for your tree. You can kickstand the feet again. So we'll be standing on the left leg. The right toes can kickstand down on the ground. I would like you to try to see if you can get that right knee facing the right side of your body. So we're kind of at a 90-degree angle again with those feet. You can see how it feels to lift that foot and bring it to the inside of the calf. Or you can bring it all the way up to the inside of the thigh. Try to avoid the kneecap because we don't want to put a ton of pressure there. So shift the weight into the left foot. Find an unmoving spot in front of you. And then find your tree. Bring the right foot to the inside of the left leg. I like to bring my hand to my stomach to feel myself breathe in and out. Twice more right here. One more breath in. Exhale, start to bring the right foot down to the ground. Try not to fidget a ton. If you'd like to walk around to the other side, you may. This time we'll shift our weight into the right leg and find our tree on the left side. So again, we're not looking for this with our knee pointed forward. We're trying to get that knee open to the side as we stand up nice and tall. We're here for 5 breaths. In and out. Take one more breath in. And exhale, bring both of your feet down to the ground. Hands to heart center. Nice work. You can go ahead and wiggle out those feet again if you'd like. We'll take one more standing pose here. I'm going to walk back to this side. We'll take a pyramid pose, which helps us to stretch our hamstrings. So what I'd like you to do is using your chair or maybe even the side armrest for support, I'd like you to place your hands on the chair. From here, I'd like you to shift your weight into your left foot, pick your right leg up and step it back. So all 10 of my toes are facing forward. And I'm trying to have 2 straight-ish legs. A soft bend in those knees is okay. And then what I like to do is really try to square my hips. So for me, that means pulling my left hip back and pressing my right hip forward. I'm going to show what that looks like from the side, just standing. So I try to square my hips towards the front of my orientation. And then the more you lean down, the more stretch you might feel in the back of the left hamstring. You might even rest your hands down on the ground, down on your chair rather. Down on the ground is an awfully long ways away. Maybe that'll be next week. Trying to breathe in and out. If you lower down onto your forearms, I'd like you to press yourself back up with your hands and step forward. And from here, we'll go ahead and step our left foot back, finding our pyramid pose again. So another thing that will help us here is if we have our feet directly in front of one another, like we're on a tightrope, that's gonna make it harder to balance. But if we step our feet out a little bit, we still get the same stretch and we feel a little bit more balanced, or at least I do. So the left foot is behind us. Again, all 10 of our toes are facing forward. This time I pull the right hip back and press the left hip forward. To feel that stretch maybe in the outer hip or in the back of the right hamstring. Try not to lock out our knees. As we breathe. Let's take one more breath in and out. Start to press yourself back up to your nice tall arms and come back to standing. Nice work. From here, we'll go ahead and sit onto our chair again. Now that our hamstrings have opened up a little bit, we'll send some love into our hips. So for this, I'd like to make sure that you're sitting all the way towards the back of your seat. From here, we'll begin to pick our right leg up off of the ground so that our right ankle comes to the top of our left thigh. This is called a figure 4 stretch. And there's a lot of different options. You can stay right here. Maybe you feel the stretch in your hips, maybe even in your glutes and hamstrings. Or you can see how it feels to lean forward, maybe propping yourself up onto your forearms. Or if you like, you can reach all the way forward, kind of dangling those hands or placing them on blocks right on the ground. Try to let your body be still for just a few moments here, feeling this stretch. If you lower down, start to walk the hands up and sit up nice and tall. Let's go ahead and set the right foot down on the ground, and then we'll trade it for our left. So we held that left foot up here. We'll flex our left foot to protect the knee, and then you get to decide where you'd like to stay in our figure 4. Maybe it's here, maybe it's forward a bit, or maybe it's even all the way down. Start to walk the hands back up, come into our nice tall spine. We'll set the left foot down on the ground. And then to end our class, or before we end our class, I'd like to take one more spinal twist. So I'll give you an option. You can take the same seated stretch that we did earlier, or you might see how it feels to bring your right hand down to the ground and open your left arm up towards the ceiling. You can even place that right forearm on your legs and reach your arm up to the ceiling. Just getting some mobility through the spine. Bring the hands back to the thighs, and we'll take it on the other side. So again, you can take our seated twist. Use your forearm and lift the right arm up towards the ceiling, gazing towards the back. Or you can hover the left fingertips down on the ground. And eventually we'll all meet back in our seat. To end our class, we'll take a short seated Shavasana. If you'd like to lay on the ground, that's a-okay as well. Just take a few moments here to get comfortable. You can lean back in your chair just a little bit. Place your hands right on the tops of your thighs. Let's take one more final breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. From here, if you feel safe in doing so, you can close your eyes or hold a soft gaze, maybe looking at the ground. Try to let those shoulders relax behind you. No need to control the breath anymore. Just let it come and go without thinking about it. And try to let your body be still for just a few moments. Know that I'll pull you out when it's time. Slowly and surely begin to breathe a little bit of life back into your fingertips, back into your toes, pointing, flexing your feet. You can keep your hands rested right on the tops of your thighs or bring your hands to heart center. Thanks to each and every one of you for showing up today, for taking some time to care for your bodies and for yourself. We'll end our class with Namaste, which means there is a place of goodness within me that is the same within you. To that place I bow. Namaste. Thanks to each and every one of you for sharing your practice with me. It's always one of my greatest gifts. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, everybody.